All right, everyone should be able to see my screen. And just for everyone that may be watching this in a recording after the fact, today is the first kind of mobile device class for our new mobile web app. And that is kind of what we're calling it because it is a web application, runs in the web browser. And that is the biggest difference between what we're calling our legacy mobile devices and the new app is this runs on a persistent internet connection. It does require constant internet in the field. And nice things to know is it can run on any device that has internet, whether it be a laptop, a tablet, a phone, pretty much anything that Google Chrome or an iOS device that runs on Safari. Now, I think everyone in here has the app set up or is going to have the app set up this week. This is the login screen. I'm going to log in as one of the techs now. This, for right now, is the main menu. We are going to be putting a little bit more kind of features and options into this and security level settings, controlling what buttons you can and can't see. That's coming a little bit later down the road. But for right now, kind of what we're steering everyone towards is if you do have route techs, for them to use the route schedule. It is simply the easiest. Everything is kind of in one place. But we'll go through the different screens here. The first being today's info. Today's info is going to show you the technician that's logged in, any tasks that are assigned to him, any stops on his schedule, or any invoices he's created. So it's quick and easy access to all the information due today for that tech. And again, you can just simply tap or click on any one of these to take you to that task. For instance, I could just tap on the task.
Hey, get out of there.
Now, the route schedule operates very similar to the old service program app. It's just a few extra features. Obviously, we can select the date. This date drop-down is only populated by dates that are on the schedule. It is all the sorting in these list views. If you haven't figured it out, it usually shows 10 items per page. And you can hit next and previous to go forward and backwards to see the pages of stops. And what the technicians need to do to basically get the information for this stop is just go to Actions and then tap Stop Details. Now, your three statuses here are for GPS tracking. This is something that is up to you to basically create a procedure. You can tell the techs, hey, every time you get on site, you got to, on the route schedule, hit status on site. That's going to timestamp and get his current location and store it behind the scenes. This works with our employee locator that we're setting up. You may see the icon on your toolbar. This will allow you to see all these different status updates for any technician or any date. So if we just simply hit Stop Details, it will take us to that stops information. We'll see more of the customer information. We'll see their billing address and service address. The newest feature of the app, it's not just a map anymore to the customer. When we hit Map, it's going to give us turn-by-turn directions when I hit Get Directions right from the technician's current location to the customer. This is a touch-enabled map, so you can zoom in. You tap anywhere on the directions, it'll take you to that part. And then we also see three groupings in stop details. This would, for this, basically this stop, it would show me if this customer had any open tasks, if there are any open route tickets, or if there are any invoices for the customer currently. If there are none, I could create a task. Obviously what your technicians are used to doing, create a route ticket. They would hit the Create Ticket button, or you could get an invoice. Now we'll come back through and walk through creating a route ticket in a minute. We're just going to go through kind of the different screens here. Task list is going to show you any tasks. Right now, I'm signed in as an admin. If I'm signed in as an admin, I can pick and filter tasks for other users. Otherwise, if your technicians are set to security level 2 currently, they will only see tasks that are assigned to themselves, and they will not see this drop down for the user. If I need to create a new task, I would just hit New in the top right-hand corner. I would then select the customer, hitting the blue button at the top. Then it's going to prompt me for a customer name. I can just simply start typing a couple letters. And then tap on the customer. Takes me back to customer detail and fills out the customer information I selected. I can pick my assign to, set the start time and end time, pick a type, put it in my description. And again, task specific notes like you would on the desktop. There's so much more options for these tasks. Again, what you want to do, start training your technicians, is to save once we've added information, like setting a task type or entering in a description. The reason why we wanted to hit save, obviously, is to save the data. It's saved in real time, so that if anyone on the service program desktop were to sync right now, they'd be able to get this new task I just created. Also, store the location that this task was updated. So it sends one of those behind-the-scenes GPS locations and a timestamp for that employee locator tool. That way, as you guys are doing tasks or route tickets and they're saving the information, it's grabbing it as updated. If it views customer info or history, it's going to take customer detail. I could see, again, the same information, invoices, tasks, or tickets. But I would also see equipment for the customer. I would see their notes history or their additional info, which are those 20 customizable fields that are on the service program on the desktop. If I hit back, I'm back to my task. We can see task type questions, checklists. All of that information is now available right in the task. Not only can they see the checklist like the old Google app, you actually complete and save changes to the checklist right on the tasks. Rentals, we could see any item currently rented or that task has any rentals attached to it. Line items. Here's what add line items for billing. If I hit add items, it's going to take me to my item list. I can then search for an item. On the mobile device, after you type what you're searching for, you can just hit enter, or you can tap out of the field. That triggers the search. It's going to show me all items with the word service in. If it happens to be more than one page, I can next page and see I have a lot of items with the word service in it. I can hit add. It'll say item added as a pop-up. That's now added to the invoice. I can hit back. I can go back down to line items. I will put that item on the on the task. Excuse me. I can tap on my item, adjust the quantity, hit update. I can add pictures, up to 3 pictures for a task. If you're on a mobile device and you tap Add Picture, it's going to prompt you from the phone to either take a picture or use one from the gallery that's been saved. A little note here, after you add the pictures, you do have to hit this Save button to save those pictures to the task. Okay. And then in the footer section, we would see on a route ticket, you'll see on a task, you'll see that on an invoice. This allows us for signature capture, email, and printing. So for instance, I can hit sign, prompt to type in the person who's signing, capture the signature. And again, you can do this on the desktop if I can. It's really when I capture a signature, it's going to ask me, do I want to complete the task now? If I hit OK here, it's going to take me back to the task, but go ahead and mark it as complete. If I hit cancel, it's still going to take me back to the task. It's just not going to complete it. Either way, it saves the task and saves the signature. So you can see it saved my signature here. It's also marked it as complete. If I hit print, it's going to open up print preview of this task with the line items and the signature. This is also what gets emailed to the customer if you were to email this right from the mobile device. When I hit email, if you're on the desktop, it opens up Outlook, but if you're a mobile device, it'll open up the mail client. If you're on iOS, it'll open up Gmail if you're on Android. And it gives the customer a link that they can click on to view their invoice or their task or route ticket. When a task has been completed, you don't see it on the task list anymore. Invoices work just the same as tasks. You hit New in the top right to create your invoice. You select the customer. Invoices are a little simpler with the details of the invoice, the line items, adding pictures, signature. The only thing different on an invoice, if I hit Edit in the top right, I can choose some extra information, like the assigned to, tax rate, terms, class, sales rep. If I go to my customer list, search works just like the item list. I can type a customer's name or a couple letters. It'll then show me all customers that match. I can hit Reset to bring back the full customer list. An item list here is just going to show me my item list with current quantity on hand, quantity on orders. You can do a search. Just quick and easy access to the item list. Now, as far as the desktop is concerned, if you hit Sync Mobile Devices, this is your new Sync menu. Depending on your internet connection and how much data you have in your database, Sync All may take a few minutes. Maybe a little bit longer than the old mobile devices, maybe a little quicker. It just depends on your scenario. What I recommend is using this kind of middle section, Sync Transactions. If you're during the middle of the day, and let's say you just want to check for tasks or invoices or route tickets, you could just hit Sync All Transactions. It's going to be a much quicker sync and only sync the information basically that's changed since the last time. If you hit Sync All at the top, it's going to sync new customers, items, routes. It's going to check all of those different tables to see if anything's changed and sync accordingly. So that's maybe more of a once-a-day, beginning or end-of-day type sync. Like what you just think of like when working with the QuickBooks maintenance menu, hitting the top button versus sync only customers or only inventory. So if I hit Sync Tasks, hit Sync, it is just going to look for tasks and bring over any information or new tasks, sync any new tasks I created on the desktop. And here's that task we created on the web just a moment ago. It's on the top here. Notice we've added a drop-down for complete on the task list. So I could filter everything that was completed. I could open up this task, all the information on it, the line items. And it's from here I could then invoice it or post it to notes and complete the task. Now our route tickets have changed. This is probably the part of the software that has changed the most. No matter your industry, we used to have a specific route ticket for each industry. It is now up to you to define your route ticket. So you create the fields you need. So if I go to my route ticket list, all I'm going to have to do is open up one route ticket. From here I can set, as you can see, I have 3 groupings and over 60 fields. Now, as of right now, we cannot change the group a field is in. We cannot change the order in which the fields appear, but we can change the label. We will have, within the coming weeks, this will be full functionality where you can actually reorder completely and tell you want certain fields in this group, certain fields in the next group. For right now, they are static. So if I need to make changes, I can just go to Edit Field Names. The only thing I need to be changing, let's say, is the label. So here's where I have up to 5 text fields. A text field can hold a number value or a text value. If you're tracking chemicals, it's important that you do use numeric fields. That way, on the reports that we're going to be putting into the program, they can be calculated. Basically, you can run sums and get basically totals of all that information over a date range, just like our existing reports. So make sure you use the number fields for chemicals, where you could have number 1 be your chlorine. Maybe my number 2 is chlorine, just like the old mobile devices, chlorine added. So you can set up the fields you need. We also have check fields. That could be your skim, what was it, skim, tile, And I can also have drop-downs. So you could set the name. When I set all the different names I need, and the nice thing is, if I take out a label, I can hide the field.
Hey, Michael, on those drop-downs, how do you define what's in the drop-down list?
I'll show you that next.
And you're saying even though to the left, the group numbers, you cannot change those currently?
Currently correct. They are static. It will not let you change them.
All right, thanks.
So let's say these are the only fields I want. I take out the labels. Now if I just close my ticket and reopen it, I only see those 5 text fields, those couple readings there. Go to group 2, I see the 1 drop down. Go to group 3, I see those check boxes. Basically, I've only told I need these fields. If you take the label away, you hide the field. If I want to populate the drop down, I just double click. So for this, I believe is drop down 1. I can set the different options I need. This list may be blank when you first see it. Let's see if I can clear it here. So it may look like this. You're going to have to pick drop down 1, put your label, and then put the order of the label 1. Then you could do drop down 1 again. Option 2, that's the second option. And I could do drop down 2 has option 1, order 1, drop down 2, order 2. So you basically just number the options in your drop down. Make sense?
Michael, can you show me like from the route schedule, how did you get to that screen where you did that drill in?
I just went for route info, route ticket list. This is my route ticket list, and I just opened up an existing ticket.
Hey, Michael, will these past route tickets show up on the history so that the next week we go, we know what we added last week?
Mm-hmm.
You drilled into this.
That is correct. I'll show you how the history works here in a moment. Now, tickets created prior to the new web app will not show up as history. So now I have my fields. I'm actually going to hit sync mobile devices, and I'm just going to, I believe, syncing routes. Sets my syncing route should set my fields. All right. So let's go look at our mobile device. I'm going to go to Route Schedule. I'm just going to tap on Stop Actions and then go to Stop Details. This customer happens to have an outdated invoice that's still open. But what I'm going to do here is hit Create Ticket. This takes me to ticket entry. The customer, everything is pre-filled for you. The first thing your guys should do is hit the little refresh button next to arrival time. It's going to timestamp the arrival time. They don't have a choice. It's just going to take the current time, take a GPS location behind the scenes. Now, if I go and look at different groupings, if you see now group 1 only has the fields that have a label, my 1 through 5, those chlorine readings. The rest of the groupings or the rest of the fields are hidden. And Max, if you see the little I here, that is the history of that field. So without even having to leave the ticket, if I had a bunch of tickets created for this customer and I tap the I for chlorine reading, it's going to show me the last 4 readings in this field with the date next to each one.
Did you come up with that, Michael? That was a good idea.
Yeah, this was I thought, the best way to do history on the fields.
That's a good one. That's smart. That way you don't have to click into the ticket.
Won't even have to leave the ticket.
Amazing. Brilliant.
Now, if you notice, every time you tap a group, there's a little loading message or a little loading bar. This is on the newest version of the app. I don't know. I think some of you are running it. This means every time you open a group, you're saving basically the data from the previous group. This is something new we just put in versus having to hit save. Or if you forget to hit save, if you tap the group, that will save the ticket. You can add line items to the route ticket. Again, also add pictures. If you have a footer, that also saves the ticket. You can capture a signature. When you capture the signature, it puts in the departure time. I told it to complete it. If it completes it, gets my departure time. Again, hit print. And right now, because the fields, we can't change the grouping currently or the order, this printout is not the prettiest it can be. Once you're able to set the grouping, if you only have 6 or 7 fields, you can put them all into group 1s, and then group 2 and 3 would be hidden.
Now, if the tech hit email at the bottom of that screen, will that, when they post the route tickets into the service program, we're looking it over at the end of the day or the next morning, will it show that it was already emailed, or is it going to email a different report now, or is this how it's going to look?
No, when they email it, it sends, just like the task or the invoice, sends a link to the customer. The customer clicks on the link, and that's the printout they see.
So is your idea to keep it the way it was, or to have each tech email it after each stop like this?
Eventually, what we're going to be putting in, I would say within the next couple of weeks, is when you hit email from the desktop software, it'll send, your customers will get an automatic email from the desktop program with this link in it for their ticket for that stop.
Gotcha. And then what about the arrival time? Are you going to exclude that from there so they don't see the total duration, or is that going to be an option?
It's something we can look at an option. We haven't gotten to that point yet. Now, if your techs are filling this out like they should, that is, they should be there. I mean, they shouldn't be doing a ticket in, 5 minutes.
True.
They can start their ticket, it clocks the arrival time, and then until they complete it, that's when it clocks the departure time. So they can actually, it's not like the old app where you have to do the ticket as quick as you can while making sure you have full service and then hitting save and sync at the same time. You can actually start it, stop it, go back in, finish it, go back in, add a little more, then it's good.
Right, unless you don't have service. I was just wondering because that was one thing that we had discussed before. Was it was cool that the customer didn't see the total duration because then it doesn't open the door to them arguing that the guy was there too quickly.
Yep, and that's something we can certainly make an option.
All right. Good. That looks cool.
So once the ticket is done, they do not see it under route tickets, just like a task. They don't see it. If you go back to route schedule, any stop that is now completed is highlighted in blue. If the route ticket exists for this customer, for this stop, it lets them know that it was completed. Basically, the ticket's been saved. They're good. To even make it even more foolproof, they could hit hide completed if they wanted to. That way they only see the stops they haven't done a ticket for that day. And show all again just to bring back their full schedule. Now on the desktop software, we can go to sync. I can tell it to sync route tickets. Then I can go to the route info, route ticket list. At the top is the ticket we created for today. It has my comments. It has all the values I've entered. Group 2, it has the options selected. Group 3, it has what I checked off. I can even hit view sign ticket from the desktop to see a copy of it with the signature. Now, some of the other sync options you have here, you've gotten a lot of questions on the notes history, or basically the customer history, and the additional info. For that to show up, we need to make sure you, one time at least, or every now and then periodically hit sync customer notes and additional info. That is the only way to get, let's say, task history or the work order history onto the mobile device, as well as any changes to the additional info fields. I'm going to go ahead and unmute Alicia here. Sorry, I had some feedback when I was talking. We're going to take the last couple minutes here. Does anyone have any questions? Anything I can answer?
Yes, hey, Mike, Rich got a question.
Yeah. How often is the training, Mike? Is it like once a week on this, or how often is it?
We do it, it'll be every Tuesday afternoon and every Friday morning at 11.
Friday morning. Yeah, okay, because we're getting our folks at devices. I just want people to sit on it. So, okay.
Yep, I'll also have a recording of this available online. You can, I'll do that as soon as the class is over. So
Play that for
starting
yourself.
by the end of the day, you can download the video.
Do you ever play that for yourself and just listen to yourself? Is that what you do? Just being funny, Mike.
No.
That's what I do.
No,
All right.
I do. Go ahead.
All right, cool. All right, so the duration thing, is that still that's going to be an option at some point, or you think you're just going to leave it the way it is?
No, that's something I can put in the next update for the app. Right now, we're getting companies installed on this, getting everyone up and going and switched over.
Great.
Awesome. I would see it in the next week or so.
Okay, I got a question. How do we calculate, now that you've changed the field, how do we calculate the cost of chemicals?
That is what we're doing on the desktop side as we speak, is updating the reports, basically work with the route ticket entry. So that's something we'll have here in the next couple weeks.
Okay, so currently we can't do any cost accounting right now on the routes based on the values entered into the fields we define.
Correct. Not yet. You will. It's not like that data is you're entering for no reason right now. Everything will be retrospect. You'll be able to look back once we have those reports in for you to run it on any date range.
Okay.
And Mike, can you
go ahead.
If you do that in for the chemicals when you change that, is there a way you could do? Because you know how you do the stop, we do the billing, we memorize the transaction now and then come over and bill them out of QuickBooks. Can you do that as a percentage of revenue also or no? You know, you have the total for a route like we do it. We total the cost, but then we divide it by the amount of revenue generated by that, you know, by the pool route itself. And it gives us a good idea of what they're spending as a percentage to revenue in, we do it, we flip it to Excel, but is that an option you could add a field?
Yeah, that's something you want like on the report on the desktop side?
Yeah, on the desktop side, so I can say, okay, Route 1, you know, has $8,000 in revenue and spent, I'm making it up, $2,000 last month on chemical supplies, so it's 25% of their, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because we find, you know, you get above 8 points and then things start getting jiggy, so. Simple, I mean, it's a simple division thing. I don't think it's a, but it'd be great if we could get it, even if we get it as a custom field on our end, and then you charge us for it and give it away to everybody else. It'd be great.
Now, I made a little note here. I'll definitely pass that on.
All right.
And I did see, Matt, you had a question. The code is visible when you go into customer detail on the additional info section. So once you synchronize that information, you will see the gate code.
Where's that gate code located, that entry?
It's under, when you go to customer detail, like you go to the customer list, tap on a customer, at the very bottom tab, there's additional info.
Additional info, okay, got it. And then what about if for additional customers that want to be emailed the route tickets, does that still go under additional contacts?
Yeah, you would want to make sure you put that under additional contacts and then include an email to be checked off.
Okay, and then last question is on the route tickets, if they were to add some chemicals onto that route ticket and those light items and then send that, where does that invoice get posted to in Service Program?
It would not be an invoice, it would stay on the route ticket.
So they're not actually getting charged for it?
Well, they would be if you invoiced from the route ticket list. If we look at a route ticket, you have line items.
Right.
So if the person had added items to the route ticket, they would show up here. And if you then posted this to QuickBooks, that would generate an invoice based off this route ticket for the chemicals. Or if you used, there's a couple different ways to do batch billing out of our software. You could batch bill all of your route tickets that have line items like at the end of the month.
Oh, gotcha. That's cool.
These can be combined with, let's say you charge your customers a flat rate for service plus chems.
Right.
If you have memorized transactions set up for, let's say, monthly service, it can take this one line item for their kind of $85 a month and combine it with any extra items from the route tickets and give one invoice in QuickBooks.
Wow, that's really cool. Okay. I got one more stupid question for you, not related to this. Is it okay if I ask it?
Yeah.
If I initially set up a customer and there's some extra additional services that are required throughout the year, say it be a filter cleaning or whatnot, where do you enter those memorized work orders?
You would use a reoccurring task.
Gotcha.
And I think, Sharon, do you have a question? Clean the filter, it'll come up once a month. Oh, Sharon, I think you muted yourself. If you click on the little phone icon next to your name. You can add it as an additional task. Think about it. Think of all those pieces first. Can you hear me, Sharon? Not a lot. I would say I'm national. Sharon, are you? I'm not able to hear you. I don't know if did you dial into the conference call?
On Apple devices, you have to use Google Chrome, right?
No, you can use Safari. It works with most of the major newer modern browsers, particular Chrome, Safari, or the new Internet Explorer 10 that's available on Windows 8 or the new Windows mobile devices.
On like my iPhone 5, like, on the computer, I can log in as, R1, and it shows up all the route tickets just fine on Google Chrome. But then when I do it on my iPhone 5, it just shows me route schedule a day. I select a day, it doesn't show me any stops for that. And then when I press back, it logs me out, and I have to log back in. That's using Safari.
I've got a lot of people using it on iPad. I've not seen that yet. There may be some options inside of Safari. Security level wise, one maybe, I think there are some that enable, what's it called, enable JavaScript. I think it's an option.
Let me go down to that.
Michael, this is Matt. One of the texts One of the texts yesterday actually said to install Google Chrome. That was what I was recommended to do. So maybe
Now
they are coming across issues.
Oh, no, we are recommending Google Chrome on the Android devices just because it gives all of our users kind of one platform to run off of no matter what device you're on. In Macs, if you go on your iPhone, if you go to settings, if you go to Safari.
I enabled JavaScript on there, and I enabled cookies, so I'm going to see if that works, and pop-ups.
Yep, I would make sure the app is heavily dependent on JavaScript.
So JavaScript was already enabled, and I was having an issue. When I went back and I enabled pop-ups and cookies, it went ahead and popped up for me.
Perfect.
Michael, I had another question.
Yeah.
Regarding, I was messing with this program yesterday, and when I would add a ticket, it was giving me a timestamp of probably an Eastern. It probably defaults to an Eastern time zone.
Oh, yes, that I can't. Thank you for mentioning that. That is one thing I did want to point out. If you go into desktop software to user maintenance, you have an extra option right next to the default task view for your time zone.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, thank you to Max for pointing that out a week or so ago.
I point out too many things
I got
to you.
a quick question. I emailed this in to everybody as far as the figure out what the issue is. But like some of mine, when I go to add a ticket or add a task, it's going to if I choose the customer or one of my customers, it comes up with some weird. I can email it to you so you can look at it, but it's not pulling in the data for that customer. It's giving me some kind of error.
If you give me the couple times we have seen this is when the customer name maybe contains some weird characters, or maybe it's something that the customer name has an apostrophe or accent or something that may be triggering it. If you give me a customer name or a screenshot of it, I'm more than happy to take a quick look.
I got it. I sent it to Joe, I think, and
okay. If he has, then it's going to be addressed.
Okay.
I have a quick question. This is Sharon.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm wondering, on the actual invoice that you showed and it had your logo on top, how would we go ahead and download our logo for our company?
Not a problem. If you email our customer support at Western Software, the logo, if you just attach it and send an email and just put in the subject, please add this to my mobile devices, we'll set that up for you, and it's almost instant. I mean, we can do it in just a couple minutes.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem.
What about, I got one more question, Mike. What about one of those route tickets if a guy accidentally enters a duplicate ticket? Can you go back in and delete that ticket?
At this current time, we don't have a way to delete route tickets. We are putting measures in place to give you something on the desktop that would allow you to delete the route ticket.
Change all this. We deleted route ticket to Central. No, we did that.
The one thing I don't know if it's been fixed or not. Joe would know better than I would that if you delete a route ticket, I don't know if it was syncing that ticket back in again. I'm not sure.
All right. Thanks, Michael. It's been a great training.
Not a problem. And like I said, we will be doing this class again Friday at 11 a.m. I'll try to show maybe a little something different, a little something extra if we kind of have the same group. We're going to be adding to this platform now. It's a lot more stable than the other app, so keep looking out for new features. I think we have a great program to work with now. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Thanks, Michael. You too. Bye.